I got involved in this project in a roundabout way. Even though I was born a Catholic, raised a Catholic, went to all, through my schooling years at Catholic schools, I never really was that committed, I was the cruise control type. I just didn't pay attention, go to Mass, daydream. And I felt I was Catholic like you're born Irish, like that was what I was born into, but I didn't really feel that I got much or contributed much. It's basically my fault because I didn't pay attention. Father Barron came to visit Sacred Heart Church where we go, and he struck me right away as being someone who was remarkably unbelievable as a speaker, the best I've ever heard. But also the subject matter was really solid, and it made me think about sort of these things I've heard in different ways, like, blessed are those who mourn, which I always thought is such a negative, kind of heavy, punishing way. And I thought, I'm not that way. I'm not a mournful soul. Why should I be mournful? But he would explain, no, it's not about that. And then he'd give this answer that was way more positive. So a parishioner came to me and said, geez, too bad more people don't know about this priest and the way he explains what the Catholic religion is all about. Why don't we sort of see if we can get a project going so we can spread that to the country and the world? And I didn't think that was really my place at first because of my, sort of self-image of a lazy Catholic. Plus, I have a job. I'm a reporter at NBC News. I work for the Today Show, and to do it, I'd have to take use my vacation time to do all that. But the more we talked with Father Barron about the idea, the more I'd ask him these simple, basic questions that I've had all my life, and he'd answer them in such a profound way that made me actually, at first, feel strengthened as a human being. And then, secondly, as a Catholic, kind of sort of reeled me back in with this truth that I've been avoiding my whole life. My dad's father came from Ireland, and he had faith, and he would go to church and pray on his knees, hoping he could get through the depression and all the rest. My dad the same way, and as an old man I see him on his knees praying, saying his nightly prayers, which I don't do. So I started thinking about this tradition and that I inherited a faith and let it, sort of grow into disrepair. And I have 4 kids myself, and I'm thinking, well, am I doing a disservice to my children, not giving them sort of the chance to understand about it? So both as a reporter and as a sort of lazy Catholic, I thought, well, maybe this is my chance to make a stand, figure out what I want to do. So I agreed to go on this as a executive producer, and my reporting sort of background helps because I can ask tough questions and basic questions. Did this really happen? And is this just myth? Is this whatever? Every single time I do that, every question I have, he comes back with an answer that I go, why didn't more people know about this? And I say that. I said, how come more Catholics growing up didn't hear that answer? Because I don't think that many would have drifted away had they heard those answers. And they're not cheesy sort of New Age answers. They're real solid. So that's what we've been doing. And I think now that I'm probably the perfect person to be here because of my reporting background, because of my skeptical nature as a drifted Catholic. And with the church struggling now, I thought, well, wouldn't this be kind of interesting for people like me to hear the message that I've heard and have them make their own decision what's important. And now I've honored that kind of tradition of my parents and given my children something to think about. In a way that's, I guarantee people will stop and think. Maybe for the first time since they've sort of made the decision to drift. Because I made the decision to drift just by not even thinking. I just drifted, didn't think about it. So I think it's remarkable, and I think that as a curious human being, not as a Catholic, everything he says has made me feel that I'm a better human being. And I think that originally was the purpose of the Catholic Church.